Hey, 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 hey. How's it going out there? So this is Reginald Martin. You are at Kemetic Centered Living. We are live. How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? So we are here. We are here. So again, I am Reginald Martin, and I am the founder of Kemetic Centered Living. And here at Kemetic Centered Living, I help those deconverting from Christianity by providing the tools and knowledge to live life boldly, authentically, unapologetically, and on their terms without guilt or shame. I do this through detailed research and explanation of ancient Kemetic spiritual science, which answers the questions about Christianity science said you're not supposed to ask, or society has said, or off limits. Mom and them said, you're not supposed to ask God. You don't ask God that. Okay. So, but we ask him. God gave us a brain. We ask questions. So that's what we do. So, but it sheds light on the errors of the rigid Christian doctrines, okay, that have caused people doubt, self loathing, fear, anxiety, all this stuff. So, everything that I do here, it is not to attack Christianity. It might seem like that to a lot of Christians, especially because they be coming at me, boy. It's not to attack Christianity because that is a low vibrational pursuit. You do not win people over. You do not spread love by attacking other people. And I do not want to live my life like that. However, I will call out bullshit. And I will call out the negative programming that Christianity does that I know I lived through, and I know that my family have lived through, and I know people in my community have lived through. Okay. I know what it does from personal experience. And that's the things that I talk about because it is about mental health and developing a positive mental health. Okay. So my content is going to release you, help release you from that frame, from that negative frame and negative Christian box of Christianity. That's what I do here. I don't care to go and attack people. I don't care to talk bad to people. Although I have to get at some of these Christians that come at me. You come, I ain't no turn to the other cheek, brother. If I turn the other cheek, you hit me and I turn the other cheek, you best be running because I'm looking for something to clock you with. That's how I handle that. So damn all of that. So yeah. So what's up? What's up? Blessed Goddess is here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Brenda Grand Debbie Fry, what's happening, my sister? And Kinsmer is here, or Kinzer is here. Kayla, good to see you. Good to see you. Michael Wilkerson from Chicago. And TL, my brother, is here. All right, all right. And Chief Scorpion Moon, what's happening? Man, all y'all longtime family is here, man. It's good to see y'all. For real, for real. So yeah. So good evening, Dana Do. Dana Do. What's happening? What's happening? So this is the deal. So if you got questions, ask them, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability and best of my knowledge. I do not know everything. I don't try to put myself forward as knowing everything. I have a lot of experience with a lot of things because I've got my butt whooped through living my life. Okay. And these principles that I live with Kemetic science, they have helped me through my life immensely, immensely. So living the Christian lifestyle was always in conflict and confusion and anxiety, always, daily. That's no way to live. And until you're out of that, you have no clue the freedom of mind that you can have by not living a lot of those doctrines, for sure, for sure. So Sanji Kim, what's up? What's up? She's a subscriber here at the channel, or he is a subscriber. Thank you for doing that. Glad you are a subscriber. And this is the thing: if I take comments, because this is what's happening in my channel. I get so many Christians that will watch a video, and I guess they must feel guilty or something, because otherwise, why watch a video on my channel when you're a believer and you don't want to change your mind? Why even waste the time? but they'll watch a channel and then they'll come back and make some nasty comments. So I basically I X out those comments. I filter comments to people who are subscribers on my channel and people who are members on my channel. Okay, that's how I filter my comments. That's generally who I answer. Okay, the same thing goes here in this chat. Okay, in this live. If you are a subscriber to my channel, I will see your question. If you're not, I won't see your question because I'm going to support the people who support me. If you are a member, okay, like Sanji Kim, she's a member. When Sanji has a question, you know what I do? Sanji goes to the front of the line because she's a member. All right. She supports me and I appreciate that. So I'm definitely going to support the people who support me. That doesn't mean that support only comes through finances. It does come through telling other people about the channel so that they can be uplifted too and learn. Okay. So that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Judy Smith, Brando, what's happening? Good to see you. Judy Smith, Judy Smith, what's happening? So yeah. So I did a good video today. I was really pleased with that video. How many of y'all actually were able to watch the video today? Put a one up if you were able to watch the video today. So I thought it was very powerful, and I thought that it was very eye-opening. So if you did see the video today, put up a one in the chat. Put up a one in the chat. All right. Got some ones coming up. Good. So Debbie saw it, TL saw it, Judy saw it, Kayla saw it. All right. Family saw it. Yes. So but I think that video, this video today, if you watch that video, there is no way that you can come away feeling like you're stuck in Christianity, because I absolutely blew the doors off of the ideas of the nativity scene and really gave the Kemetic understanding and the Kemetic esoteric knowledge behind the nativity scene. We're told one thing as Christians, but the reality of it is a lot more powerful and empowering than what we were told. Okay. So some deep stuff. Okay. So the idea, and even connecting the idea of ma'at, living ma'at to these, because I know even in the conscious community, we have these things that we talk about. Okay. And ma'at is one of those that we talk about, you know, and a lot of people, they talk it, but they really can't walk it, because they can still be, and this is the same thing with a lot of Christians that I see, is they talk about love and understanding and compassion, but they can be some of the nastiest human beings on the planet. And quite frankly, I can see some of our so-called conscious brothers and sisters that can do the same thing. You basically because if you really live in these principles, you won't go around being hateful to people, because that's a low vibrational pursuit. If you just understood the idea of vibration, you're not going to be hateful to people. You know, if you understood the principle that what you put out is what you get back, you're not going to be hateful to people, because that's negative energy that you're putting out into the universe. So if you understand just that basic principle, you're going to be a better individual. You're going to be a better human being if you just practice that one principle, you know? So a lot of people talk about it, but they really don't practice it because they don't understand the principles, because this is really about metaphysical principles. And when I say metaphysical, I'm just exchanging the word spiritual, because spiritual has a lot of connotations to it that really we think spirituality and religion is the same thing, but religion and spirituality is not. Okay. But metaphysics, or the non-physical, or above the physical, that's what meta means, above the physical, or another way to say that is just spiritual. Okay. These principles are about helping you operate from a higher level or a higher plane than the earth plane. Because if you understand the principles at a higher plane, at a plane above the plane you're on, then you're able to operate that plane. Okay, that plane of existence. And that's what a lot of these principles are doing, because the Kemetic principles operate from the perspective of a soul. Okay. Everything that they're talking about, all the ideas that they're talking about in the Bible and in the Gospels, especially, and the Jesus stories, all of that stuff is not happening on earth. It was never meant to be meant to happen on earth. All of those things are the mythology of ancient Kemet that they're expressing in another story in the Gospels. And the Kemetic stuff is all about the journey of a soul and helping you understand that journey of a soul. Okay, that's what that stuff is about. Okay. And Loving Mind said, yes, it becomes wasted energy. Wasted energy. All right, all right. Latasha, what's up? What's up? Let's see. In the house, all right. Higher Hecka, what's up? What's up? In the Higher Hecka is in the house. All right. And then my girl, Blessed Goddess is the admin here. So thank you for being here, Blessed Goddess. Definitely appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. Let's see. And Kismet says also another thing, karma energy doesn't spare anyone, children, mom, dad, auntie, no one. I think a lot of people don't know that as well. So they blame the devil for what they got back from what they put out. Yeah, yeah. You know, and the idea of karma it's not necessarily punishment, but it is about the energy that you put out and that you get back, you know. So most definitely. All of that stuff, all of that should matter, you know. It should matter. And it should matter in a way that makes you a better human being. If it's not making you a better human being, why in the hell are you doing it? Why? And this is again, and I try to contrast the religious ideas of Christianity, because again, I don't talk Judaism or Islam because I've never lived those ideas, never have. But Christianity, I did. I I was practically born on a damn altar, for real. I mean, I was raised in the church. That was the only place my mama wasn't late. So when I'm telling you I was raised Christian and how my family was, I knew, or the version of Christianity that I got was a mind job. Okay, for real. So I know Christianity, and I've lived around the people all my life, so I know what it does. I know how it impacts people because I see it in my family all the time. And whenever I'm around them, I see it. I know how they talk. They are the microcosm of the macrocosm. Okay. So I know how Christianity is from a mental perspective, okay, from a psychological perspective. Um, Let's see. Dana Do says, I would love to know what you feel about Reverend Ike. I love some Reverend Ike. That brother was way ahead of his time. Way ahead of his time. Okay, so Reverend Ike, if y'all haven't heard Reverend Ike, y'all need to listen to some Reverend Ike. For real. That brother is deep. And he's talking metaphysics, but he bridges Christianity with the metaphysical ideas. Okay, so that's one of the things that he does. But love his stuff. Love his stuff. So Reverend Ike is good with me. But I remember growing up and people talking about Reverend Ike. Boy, our Christian people talk about Reverend Ike so bad. I mean, he was a charlatan. He was money hungry. He was all of this. But Reverend Ike knew. You listen to his stuff, he knows these principles inside and out. So yeah, Reverend Ike is the truth. Reverend Ike is the truth. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Solace. Promoting who? Sal, greetings, sir. I wanted to ask: are certain individuals in our society and our culture consistently promoting Mars because of what it represents? I have no idea what Mars represents. So So Salo, I don't know. Actually, tomorrow I'm going to have a UFOologist on, so I'm going to interview a UFOologist tomorrow. So maybe there might be something you want to ask him tomorrow. So same bad time, same bad channel, but we're going to be talking about the ideas of, well, his journey, from doing life or living life as a Christian and now UFOologist, and the idea that aliens are that we're getting reports now that the planet is receiving communication from alien people, extraterrestrials. Okay, so and have been for a long time. But anyway, we're going to talk about some of that stuff today and the ramifications of it, because you got to think the church does not even want to acknowledge that there are aliens. They don't want to acknowledge, but you got to think about it. It's just percentage wise. There are billions of galaxies, okay, with billions of stars in each galaxy. What's the probability that out of all these billions of galaxies and trillions of stars, that we are the only living souls in the universe? What's the odds of that? We'd have to, when you talk about that, we'd have to hit something better than the lottery, to be the only people or the only race in the whole universe. That doesn't even compute. It doesn't even make sense to me. Now, but why does that matter? Because the church wants to say that we are the only people. And why do they want to say that? Because Adam and Eve are the first parents of the human race. Because they sinned, we need Jesus to save us. That's why we need a Savior, and we need to believe that He died on the cross and resurrected for our sins. He washed us of our sins. Okay? Now, if Adam and Eve are the first parents of the human race, and Jesus died and they sinned, and Jesus died for our sins, and we need Him, does Jesus die for the sins of extraterrestrials if they've never been a part of the lineage of Adam and Eve? Huh? You mean they don't need Jesus if they weren't a part of the lineage of Adam and Eve, according to the church? So the church don't even want to discuss anything like that, because that's going to open up a can of worms they don't want to have to deal with. Okay, but we're going to talk about it tomorrow. We're going to talk about it tomorrow, peoples. So yeah. All right. Let's see. Earth is a soul trap, as some people say. No, you know what? Let go, Mandelev. See, we have to consider that, because people do have a negative perspective of living on Earth, but you're here because of how powerful you are, and because you're here to learn. Earth is not a trap, man. You get the privilege to live here and live your life. It's all about the perspective, but you are basically in training. You're in training. You're in training as a god or goddess to develop your superpowers. And you, just like you have to develop strength lifting weights, okay? In other words, weights is resistance to your muscles, so your muscles build up because of the resistance. Life is the same way. Life builds you through resistance, through your pain, through your trials and tribulations. That's how you get built. But the building part is the wisdom. Okay? You gain wisdom. You overcome your fears through your wisdom. That's what the video that I was doing today. That's what the nativity scene and baby Jesus and being born on December 25th. That's all it was. It's about the journey of the soul, because the soul is already in human form. But on Christmas Day, the soul has reached its lowest depth and is now starting to return back to oneness and back to gaining wisdom. So it starts to march back day after day after day, gaining wisdom. That's what the metaphor of the winter solstice and then you get to the vernal equinox, which is where we celebrate Easter. Easter is like the spiritual birth, the birth of your consciousness, and you gaining a new level of spirituality, and you are aware of your Christ self. That's what Easter is supposed to represent. Okay, so it's all a symbolic journey is what this stuff is supposed to be teaching you. Okay, but we don't get that message. We haven't gotten that message. All we're supposed to do is worship the idea as a human being or as God on earth, but it never does anything to inform us on how we should be living our life or giving us instructions on how to live. Although people say Bible is what instructions before leaving Earth or something like that. Please, give me a break. Give me a break. But anyway, I went off. All right, I'm going back up here. I'm sitting there. See y'all ask some questions. You bet, Dana do. You bet. That was a good question. Good question about Reverend Ike. Reverend Ike is the truth, not the truth. The truth. I'm from the hood. Yes, I am. Okay. Sure enough. Let's see. And Sanji says the Dogon speak of the presence of other planetary beings on Earth. Yeah, I believe that's possible too. But even dimensionally, there are other beings that live on this planet, but we have a veil between us that we don't experience each other physically. Okay, we can experience each other mentally though. We can experience each other emotionally. But we don't necessarily experience each other physically because of the veil, okay? A vibrational veil, all right? But we can pierce that veil, all right? All right. Queen M, she's from the Caribbean, says she loves Reverend Ike. Now, I'm gonna have to get to the Caribbean, Queen M. Jamaica's my spot. I'm gonna have to get back to Jamaica. I hadn't been back there in years, but I got to get to Jamaica. Back to Jamaica. Irie, yeah. That's my spot. Yep. I can agree with that. Sir Fishy Fool says we are all visitors to this time, this place, and just passing through. Our purpose here is to observe, learn, grow, and love. Then we go home. Absolutely, and then we get a chance to do it all again. So this is a constant process. Okay, it's cyclical. All right. So we don't just live, die, and then that's it. No, as souls, we are eternal and we live over and over. But again, the church doesn't want to promote something like that because they can't scare you. They can't scare the hell into you. They don't want to say, "Oh yeah, you die and you get to live again." No, they don't want to promote that. They want to promote the idea that when you die, you go to heaven or hell. You can slide into home safe, or you gonna burn forever. Man, that's rough. So, I mean, think about it. You're going to burn forever, man. You make a mistake and you don't get the chance for redemption. You're going to burn forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever. That's a mighty long time. And I'm here to tell you there's something else. Oh, punch a higher floor. Anyway, Prince is one of my favorite people. I love Prince. Probably my two favorite artists, Prince and Stevie Wonder. My favorite group, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Woo! Hands down. So yeah. Let's see. 901 Kingdom. I see you. Got a question? Come on with it, man. Ma'am. That's right. Get that shadow work done. That's the other part of Kemetic spirituality. It's about you recognizing and illuminating the shadows. Okay. Christianity don't want you to even acknowledge like there's any shadows. If you have shadows, that's a bad thing. You don't even look at that stuff. Keep your eyes on Jesus. No. You're learning, you're growing. So you have to have those shadows. I was looking at I keep up with athletics. I'm kind of like, watch football, basketball. Dallas Cowboys, my favorite football team, the best team in the world. Okay, maybe not, but anyway, that's my team. I'm from Dallas, grew up here, and all that stuff. So Dallas Mavericks, my favorite basketball team. And then one of the athletes that I like watching is track and field is Sha'Carri Richardson, and she's from Dallas. And I don't know, never met her, but I know for the last couple of years, this sister has been through hell and back. And she just a day or two ago, she won the world championships in the 100 meters. Man, she got suspended a couple of years ago, just right before the Olympics. I mean, she was riding high. She got suspended, for smoking marijuana, which this day and age that's just not a big deal. But I understand the track and field, they have the rules. But she went through a lot. And I was watching her today, an interview that she did. And you can tell that she shifted from an external locus of control to an internal one. And psychologically speaking, an external locus of control means that you worry about everything outside of you, and you worry about what everybody's saying about you. She would always be, 2 years ago, she would be acknowledging her haters. She would be, just talking about, mad at people, mad at the world, but you can tell in the interview she did after she won that 100 meters, she has shifted. And she shifted from worrying about what they're saying out there to really finding that inner peace for her. And she was talking about it, man. And she has found her peace. And she said it was at one of her meets, because she would always wear these long, flowing, like blonde wigs, or they'd have purple or orange or whatever, but they had a long flowing hair, the straight hair. And that's what she ran in, 2 years ago. But then at one meet, she came to the track and she had that long flowing hair. But right before the start, she got that wig, took it off, and flung that bad boy, just like, get the out of here, and people laughed, because it was funny. But for her, that was a symbolic gesture. And what she said is, this is the old me. Took that wig off and flung it. This ain't me. I'm a new me. And that's what she said in her interview. That was the old me. This is the new me. So she's had her Christ moment. She's had her shift. That's what these ideas will do for you. And I don't know if she's living Kemetic spirituality or not, but the ideas are bigger than just the Kemetic framework. The Kemetic framework is just that. It's just a framework. I like it because it does break down the old Christian stuff. So that's why I like the Kemetic stuff, because everything Christianity in the Bible came from ancient Kemet, okay, through the Greeks. But everything they did, you can fact check Christianity through ancient Kemet, and they're done. So that's what I like. But she has found her peace, her inner peace. That's what it's about, man. And now she's like, she was talking about how she thought people loved her, people outside, but now she's recognized, hey, she's got to find that love for herself, And I thought that was so profound, man. But that sister, she's been to hell and back. As the old saying goes, hell is full, or what was this? A Christian hell is how does it say? Hell is for the people who have already been there, and heaven is for the people, or something. I forget what it said, but it's a real cool saying. I forget it now. Somebody might could help me with that. Okay, let's see. 901 King. Let's see. I'm looking here. Ha ha ha. Try keep that energy. Okay. I'm looking to see if you had a question. See, somebody, Chief Scorpion Moon is asking about retrograde. I don't know nothing about no retrograde. I ain't did that. Let's see. Queen says she's done some. Queen M says she's done some shadow work. She ain't in the shadows no longer. I heard that. Hey, I'm constantly doing shadow work. Man, I just dealt with a relationship. Just ended one. Man, that caused me to look into my shadows. dealing with that relationship. So, and a lot of times that's really where I've learned some of my hardest lessons has been in my relationships, romantic relationships. So most definitely, most definitely. So yeah, Judy, yeah, she definitely she shifted. She's definitely shifted, and she's more at peace, and now she's more powerful. She's more empowered. She's not running for everybody else now. She says she's running for herself. And that's just like, man, I'm so glad to see that, because that young sister she was going through it a couple of years ago. I mean, you could see it, man. She was just angry. She was just angry at the world. You could see it in the interviews, man, how angry she was. But now she shifted, man. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Let's see. And Karen Lewis says, love your content and pray for your voice to be amplified to reach even more of our people. This knowledge is needed now more than ever. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, Karen Lewis, for stating that. I definitely appreciate it. And I want to let you guys know that so many of you will just say thank you or come by and say stuff like that in the comments. Guys, I need it. I need it. And I thank you every single time. If y'all are saying thank you or just lifting me up, I try to answer you every single time, So I appreciate those comments, because I can't get so many negative ones, but I have to remember you guys, y'all are the majority, that say the positive things, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So let's see. Thank you for your YouTube channel. I've been studying from your YouTube channel for about 4 to 5 years. All your teachings are starting to be very easily simple to get and understand to me. Good, because that's the one thing that you'll see. I'm glad to hear that, because you'll see that my teachings and what I talk about are very consistent. That you won't hear me talk about something 3 years ago that does not apply to 3 years to now, 3 years that's now in the future. And it's because I understand a framework that the Kemetic system was operating from, and I'm not vacillating from that framework. So even when I go deeper into a lot of teachings, all of this stuff fits together. It's not just like an accidental nugget or something that you get. All of it fits together like a puzzle. And if you understand one piece, then when you go to another part of it, it's going to fit some kind of way. Okay. And that's what you'll see. That's what you'll see. Okay. So thank you for that, 901 Kingpin. Definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. All right. Let's see. Kinsmer says, what are your thoughts on Bobby Hemmett? I thought that brother was brilliant. Bobby Hemmett, when he talked about metaphysical stuff, he knew his shit. Okay. He knew his shit. So I thought that brother was gifted. Absolutely, positively. So for real. So yeah. So definitely have a lot of high regard for him, for sure. Yeah. TL, she says, I'm not back, I'm better. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not back. That's what Sha'Carri Richardson was saying. I'm not back, I'm better. So I love that. I love that. So yeah, so she definitely had that Christ moment for sure. When you get that enlightenment, and that's what these ideas were meant to do. They are explaining this stuff, these psychological things that you go through. We worship the ideas, but never understood what they were about. And that's the video that I did today. That's what I was talking about. It is helping you understand how to use this knowledge or what it's really about, not just worshiping something. Our Kemetic ancestors did not worship. They didn't even have a word for that idea, as if something outside of you that you need to pray to or please or whatever. No, it's all about that inner journey. It always has been. Always has been. You only find peace, your peace, when you decide to live your peace. And when you decide to live life on your terms, that's when you find your peace and quit worrying about everybody else. So for sure, for real. All right. So for real. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, TWL. Thank you for helping me out. It says religion is for those who are afraid of hell. Spirituality is for those who have been through hell. No, you're right. You got it. That was exactly what I was trying to say. So I knew one of y'all would help me out. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Let's see. So Kingpin says, my question is, if I have sex a lot with my same partner, is that wrong? Who decides that for you, 901 Kingpin? Who decides for you what's right or wrong for you? Okay. So when you're asking me a question like that, what you're doing is you're saying that somebody or something outside of you is making that determination for you. You can't let other people outside of you decide what's right and wrong for you. Okay. For your life and how you're going to live your life. You will be miserable. All right. So wrong, who decides who, and I'm asking this rhetorically, but who decides what's right or wrong for you in your life? Okay. Now you're asking me, and I could have some views that go against what you believe and how you want to live your life. But it's not for me to tell you how to live. No matter what I believe, it's not for me to tell you how to live. Okay? That's a religious notion. That was a Christian thing. Okay? That was a Christian thing. So Southern Goddess is in the house, so she's a member, she's a supporter. What's up, Southern Goddess? Thank you for your support. Definitely appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. So yeah. But yeah, so you're deciding your life, because with Christianity, we got into this mode of we had to go to the Bible, the preacher, the deacons, or somebody to tell us what was right or wrong. In other words, we had to measure up to some standard, and usually it was something impossible. You always fell short. But God loves me anyway. I'm a wretch. I fall short, but he saved me, child. By the grace of God, I have been saved. Even though I ain't nothing but a load of poo-poo. God saved me. How think about that type of mentality, guys. What is that doing to you? And most of us thought that that was being humble, but it was self-effacing. It was putting you down. It was really creating self-loathing about you. That even though you were barely worth saving, God did it anyway. Saved you anyway. Woo! Just makes me want to shout. Please. You are divine. You are some power. You are a powerful mofo. Believe that. Know that. You are the same stuff as God, as the creator. You're the same stuff. Just not the same magnitude. But you're the same stuff. You can't, it's impossible for you not to be. You can't be here and not be from the source of creation. From the source of creation, you are a created being. You had to be created from the same stuff. Christianity teaches you differently. Think about it. Christianity teaches you that the God created you, but you're so different than him that he can send you, that part of him, to hell for eternity and burn for eternity because you're different. Originally, Kemetic science had nothing like that. No idea like that you could go to hell for eternity and burn, because that would mean that God is burning itself. If you could burn, I'm just talking the talk, but that's a ridiculous notion in the first place, because you have to have be material and fire and oxygen to burn anything. Okay. Oh, but God is so powerful, he can do anything. Christian people, please. Good God, this magical thinking. Oh, he can make anything can burn. He can burn it in space. Whatever. Okay. Go against science. So yeah. All right. Good peoples. Good peoples. All right, all right. Says 901 King Pence, you're a powerful person, Reginald. Thank you, thank you. I do my best. I do my best. I have my moments and I have my time, guys. I get depressed. I get down. Hey, like I said, my relationship that I a couple of weeks ago, I could barely get out of bed. You know, I was hurt. I was hurt. You know, so I'm human. But these ideas help me through those things. That's what they're supposed to do. Okay, that's what they're supposed to do. All right. Just in case you guys, I do have a ebook that teaches you the ancient Kemetic origins of Christianity, the ultimate beginner's guide, and this gives you the basic foundation of Kemetic spirituality. Okay, so it contrasts to Christianity. This is not like a academic book. This is something, again, is very personal, but it contrasts Kemetic teachings to Christianity. So it helps you to overcome it and look at Christianity from a different lens. Okay, so that's one of the things. But if you're interested in going to getting that book, $9.99. You can go to get the ebook at KemeticCenteredLiving.com/store. And it's on the bottom of the screen. So the website is on the bottom of the screen. So you can go there. As soon as you purchase the book, a thank you page is going to come up. That's where your download. So you're going to, as soon as that thank you page comes up, the link to download the book is on that thank you page. Okay, so don't click off of it. So as soon as you get it, as soon as that thank you page comes up, that's where the book is. Okay, and you can download the book from there. But it teaches you the basics. Okay, it teaches you the basics of Kemetic spirituality. Okay, and just gives you the basic framework is what it does. All right, but that's at www.KemeticCenteredLiving.com/store is where you can get that ebook. All right, all right, all right. But I think it's a pretty good one. I think it's a pretty good one. Let's see. All right, love and meaning says love and light to you, Reginald. Thank you. I definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Loving me again. I heard that. Loving me again. I love that. I love that name. Love that name. I'm going to get the Ethiopian Bible. The price is pricey, but worth it. King James has many lies mixed in with truth. Yeah, yeah. A lot of the a lot of the Christian stuff. I think I've heard somebody say that there's like more translations of the Bible than there are words in the Bible. There's so many different translations. Would you think that if this is like the word of God, that God would like not have to have it translated so many different ways? Whatever. So man, please. So yeah. So James Wilson says he's gonna go and research Bobby Hemmett. Yeah, research him. There's another one, another older guy. So Bobby Hemmett's not alive now. God, I was trying to think of his name. I can't think of his name. I'll think of it. But just these guys have some. I don't always agree with everything they say, but the ideas that they talked about, they got a lot deeper into the metaphysical aspect, because a lot of people don't understand the metaphysics of this knowledge. Okay, and so I like that they got into the metaphysics of it a lot. Okay. All right, Judy, you out? Are you out of here? Says, be well and prosper, family. My presence is required elsewhere. Abundant thanks, teach. All right, Judy, you have a good night. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Let's see. So, yeah, I would definitely agree with that. But even still, in some cases, though, Latasha, it's not just necessarily that we Christianity definitely promotes that, okay, and it promotes the idea that we need to be valid, to have that outside validation. But I know, like for me, a big part of that is I'm like a people pleaser, okay, have been, and it's something that I've had to battle and still do, being a people pleaser. And a lot of that was just due to the way that I was raised. That in order to, I felt like I had to do certain things a certain way in order to be loved by my mother, my family, and stuff like that. So I got into that bag of people pleasing. Christianity capitalizes on that people pleasing idea, you know. And even if you think about like Proverbs 31 woman, that's one of the big ones, man. That they really, that ties up women in a way mentally and emotionally that destroys them. You know, that you basically give yourself and you put everybody else before you. That's the Christian way of teaching. That is a low vibrational, destructive way to live, you know. But yeah, but definitely, trying to get that trying to please everybody, and not taking care of yourself, definitely is destructive. And Christianity capitalizes on that mentality for sure. Delbert Blair, there you go. That's who I was trying to think of, Sanji Kim, Dr. Delbert Blair. That was who. Thank you. That was you knew exactly who I was talking about. So that's who I was trying to remember. But those guys are awesome, awesome. So some great knowledge. But like I said, I don't agree with everything that they say, but a lot of it, that I think that they expand your mind and they expand your knowledge. Okay, metaphysically, because that's really when you start to understand the metaphysics and the metaphysical laws and dealing with a lot of this stuff. That's when you can really start to set yourself free. Okay, when you understand that you're a vibrational being, man, it takes everything to a whole nother level, because you operate understanding your vibration and seeing the world through your vibration, moving through the world, recognizing what vibrational level that you're on. That's when you start to really you start to shift. It starts to be an inner shift when you do that. So for real. All right, all right. Let's see. Yeah, Higher Hecker says that Dr. Delbert Blair was absolutely awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dr. Delbert Blair and Bobby Hemmett are two of the older guys that, as far as the metaphysics of it, to me, they were heads and shoulders above most people back then. Most people, Bobby Hemmett was talking about stuff in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, man, that people just now starting to talk about. you know, that's how far ahead this brother was. So he knew his stuff. Knew his stuff. Let's see. Donna One Kimmy says, Reginald, as I continue studying, I see the world and people very clearly since learning Kemet. I don't see the world and others the same. I see within, and I be more to myself at times wondering. Yeah, it does. It does. The Kemetic stuff will, because it makes you recognize that you are the one who dictates really your mentality. Your perspective is your superpower, and that's what you'll learn from dealing with Kemeticism, is that the way that you think is dictated by you. You know, your chemical or your physiology is what creates your reality, really, or how you filter your reality. Your physiology is what's being reflected back to you as reality, and you decide how you're going to react to it. Because really and truly, think about this, guys. Really and truly, life is meaningless. The events of life are meaningless until you define them. I'm going to say that one more time. The events of your life are meaningless. They have no meaning. They're just events until you define what they mean for you. And all of that is based on your mentality. All of that your life is based on how you want to filter your life. Negative, pessimistic people see life differently than optimistic and positive people. And this is the thing. This is the difference that I've learned from Kemeticism. The difference between it and Christianity, and a lot of other systems too. But a lot of people talk about think positive, think positive, think positive. Okay. But what you consciously are aware of and think of is only 5% of your mind, essentially. Okay. About 5% of your mind. The other 95% is subconscious programming. So you can think positive, but that 95% is going to swallow up that 5% at some point. Okay. If you're not a positive person. So for me, the difference between Kemetic spirituality and a lot of other things is when you really understand the principles, is that it's not about thinking positive. It's about your being. It's about a perspective. It's about being positive. Okay. It's about who you are from within. Okay. That's a different way to live, a different way to move through life. You don't just think positive, because that's fleeting and in the moment. But the tools that you use and the tools that I teach, especially in the African Mind Rewire class and in that course, it's about shifting you to being positive. Okay. It changes your whole entire outlook and it changes your life. Okay. So for real, for real. So it's different. So but the African Mind Rewire class, I just put the deal there. But definitely the tools that you learn in the African Mind Rewire class shifts you. It shifts your entire being. It shifts your entire way of life, and it shifts you to where you have a better quality of life. Okay. So yeah. What's going on, LA? What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you, LA. So LA, one of my longtime sisters. Always like to see her here. So what's happening? What's happening? Says okay, fan. Got to catch this time. I've been sick in bed for over a week now. Oh no! Come on now, sending you some positive love, LA. Sending you some positive. Y'all send our sister some positivity and some upliftment, some high vibrational love. Do that. Sending it to LA, and that's real. We can send it to her. She doesn't have to be near us. When you get into the energy and vibration, it's not about proximity anymore. It's not about you being to sit next to the person. You're tapping into the universe. And the universe can just, it's you, the universe, wherever you are, you are. Okay? Wherever you shift your mind to, you are. Even if your physical body is right here. When you shift your mind, that's where you are. Man, woo, that's some powerful stuff right there. Get better, LA. Get better. All right, all right. Sending there. There you go, LA. They sending you some love. They sending you some love, LA. All right, my good people. All right, sending LA some love. That's it right there. That's it. That's it. Let's see. Yeah, loving me again. You have to renew that subconscious mind. You have to renew your being. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, but if you're not, but that's the thing is if you're not aware of this stuff, you will believe that life is happening to you. Okay. If you believe that life is happening to you, then you believe that you can fall into the bag of feeling powerless. You can fall into the victimized bag or being a victim. Okay. But when you understand that life is happening through you, that to me, that prime universal law is what you put out, meaning vibrationally, what you are inside your being is what you get back. So that in life is always a reflection. Life is your feedback. Okay. Whatever is happening, if there is something happening in your life that you don't like, that means that there is something that you need to change from within. When you shift from within, that's when it shifts the outside. That's what's primary. Your inner being, your inner state is what's primary. All right. Yes, yes, yes. Powerful, powerful, powerful. That right there is another shift. That's a powerful shift. That's what Sha'Carri Richardson figured out. It's about me. It's about my inner state. Not everybody else out there. Not everything else out there. It's about me and how I shift me. Let's see. Horsepower Enthusiast says, in essence, it's belief. Christianity makes me anxious of how God or Enlil will send you to hell for disbelief or not following in line. It's mentally warped to just believe it without question. Yep. And it'll mentally warp you. And you know, the craziest thing about that, though, Horsepower Enthusiast, is how many people will argue for hell. They want hell to be real. That just blows my freaking mind that you would want such a heinous idea to be a reality. That you can make a mistake and burn for eternity. That's not a very loving and compassionate God. If God was like that, and I don't believe in that kind of God, but if God was like that, that's not a very loving and compassionate person or compassionate God. If I'm a father, I have children, and I just put myself in the mode of if God is supposed to be my father, I'm his child. Okay, I just kind of put it in that mode. I have children as a father. My children make me mad. But there is nothing, not one thing that they could do that I would never, ever, ever, forever, never forgive them for. There's nothing that they could do that would be that bad. And you're trying to tell me the all-knowing, all-powerful creator would create something like that they would, that to me, the more power that you have and the more power and knowledge that you have, you become more compassionate. Because I use another example. If you've ever been around little children, and say a little 2-year-old child can come and like get angry and like come and swat you on the leg and when they're mad, do you slap the shit out that little child? No, because you know that child don't get it. That child don't understand. You know. So because you're older and more wise, you have compassion for what that child is going through. I would think that an all-knowing, all-powerful, omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient God will be more compassionate than me that I could be to my children. So that's why, to me, that idea of hell and burning for eternity makes absolutely, positively no freaking sense whatsoever, except in the warped mind of Christians that think that the only reason people don't do bad in the world is that they have a fear of hell. That's the only thing that's keeping people straight. Because that's what a lot of them believe. That's the only thing that keeps people in line is the fear that they might could burn for eternity. That's some warped thinking. Some absolutely warped thinking. Okay? So yeah. But anyway, I went off there. uh, Okay. Let's see. My brother says Victor Latimer Jr. says, as a former recording artist myself, I would like to understand why so much Egyptian symbology is used by artists associated with evil. Is it powerful teachings used for bad? Is it a front? Victor, I've never seen that, so I can't answer that question for you. So I don't know. I've never seen that. You know. Not saying that it doesn't exist, but it's just I guess I'm not in that world, so I've never seen it. Now I know that Christianity has traditionally looked at Egypt in a negative way, but that's because they had this idea. So Egypt was a what do you call it? Esoteric symbol for the living in the physical life, and Christianity, along with the Greeks, looked at living with the physical as an antithesis to being spiritual. So anytime you saw, excuse me, Babylon, Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah, all these supposedly earthly places represented being in the physical. Okay, and they looked at it as a negative. So that could be very true. Very true, brother. But I've never seen that. So not something I'm aware of. Let's see. Let's see. Somebody believed population control was necessary. Yeah. See, I know, and I know a lot of those ideas float around the conspiracy theory ideas. But again, it's about your perspective, family. It's always about your perspective. So there's always going to be what we call good and bad. People want to classify something as evil. Okay, that's our classification of stuff. But it's just duality. Both sides of the equation always exist, or it could not exist in our reality. It's not possible to have both sides. Okay. So just like you can see and focus on what they call evil in the world, there's just as much good too. Which one do you want to experience? And you decide by what you focus on in your perspective and perception. Your perception is always your superpower. Always. All right. All right, family. All right, family. It's that time. It's that time. So I'm going to knock it off tonight. It has been real chatting with y'all again. As always, thank you all for being here. Bless Goddess, thank you for being here again, as always. My moderator extraordinaire, I always appreciate you, sister. Always appreciate you. So family, all of y'all that's been here tonight, thank you so much. And I will see y'all next time. Again, I'm going to be here tomorrow with a UFOologist, and we're going to be discussing some good stuff. Some good stuff. All right. All right, family. Y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all next time. All right.